Hello Zoe, today's Saturday, May 23rd, 2015, and as you will be able to tell soon, I'm filming this part at a different time than I filmed the last part, because this part is being filmed in the future, where the other part is filmed in the past. Well, I suppose that depends on when you are. Anyway, since I didn't have a thing to talk about this video, I decided to continue with the end of Chapter 1 of A Fire Within, as you could probably tell by the title. It ends in a bit of a troll. It's not a cliffhanger, it's just a troll, because you don't even know what the end of the sentence is. Even if you did, you wouldn't know why it mattered yet. That's what the rest of the book is about. Also, this starts about one sentence of review where the last one ended, so you should probably go and watch the last one, which I will link in the comment area. It's a comment area, it's not a comment area. Which I will link down below the video, or if you're watching in the future and they've moved it over there, maybe up there, I don't know what they're going to do. But it will be linked there so that you can go back and watch it so that you remember, and there's going to be a repeated sentence, so don't worry about that. Anyway, here it is. If you were stuck, you could always have a lift into town for my car, as long as you don't mind sharing with the dragons. Oh yes, said David, raising a finger. His mind floated back in the wording on the postcard in the newsstand window. Must like cats, children, and like him. Lucy pointed to a shelf above the sealed-off fireplace. Sitting as its center was a small clay dragon, unlike any that David had ever seen. It wasn't a fearsome, fire-breathing monster, the sort of dragon that might capture medieval maidens, nor was it a cutesy, cartoony sort of thing. There was a fiery pride in its oval-shaped eyes, as if it had a sense of its own importance and knew that it had a definite place in the world. Its tall, slim body was painted green with turquoise hints at the edges of its scales. It was sitting erect on two flat feet and an arrow-shaped tail that swung back on itself in a single loop. Four rigid wings, too large and too small, fanned out from its back and shoulders. A set of spiky, flag-like scales ran the entire length of its spine. David picked it up, and very nearly dropped it. "It's warm," he said, blinking in surprise. "That's because it's been in the sun too long," Miss Pennycettle said, quickly cutting her daughter off. She lifted the dragon out of David's hand and rested it gently back on the shelf. A cone of sunlight fell across it. "There are loads of dragons in our house," said Lucy, a bubble of excitement in her voice. David smiled and touched a finger to the dragon's snout. For one strange moment he thought he could detect a layer of ash on the wide, flared nostrils. He ran a thumb across the gray glaze and decided it was dust. "Do you collect them?" Lucy shook her ponytail. "We make them. I make them," said her mother. "I'm learning," said Lucy. "Pennycettle pots and crafts. We're famous. Mom sells them at the market on Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday afternoons. When there's a craft fair at Scrubbly Garden Center, she takes them there. Lots of people buy them." "I bet," said David, nodding with admiration. "Do you make them here?" Miss Pennycettle pointed at the ceiling. "I have a small studio in one of the bedrooms. It's called the Dragon's Den," Lucy said mysteriously. She put her hands behind her back and swung her shoulders. "You're not allowed to enter." "Lucy, don't tease," her mother chided. Turning to David again, she said, "I'll gladly show you around once you settle in. Well, if you decide to take the room, that is." David ran a hand through his mop of brown hair. Dragons. It was certainly different from his last place, where all you got were spiders and the occasional mouse. "It's perfect," he said. "Just what I want. If you and your dragons will have me, Miss Pennycettle, I'd love to move in right away. Call me Liz," she said, holding out a hand. "We'd love you to stay, wouldn't we, Lucy?" Lucy wriggled her nose. "That depends on the other thing." "Other thing?" said Liz. "What other thing?" Lucy smiled directly at David. "Do you like..." End of Chapter 1. Zoe? Bye.